Oh. Hello, this is Alexandra Rodaya, and today it's a very beautiful weather outside. And I'm gonna have to ask you this question. Have you ever wondered why you don't see the moon in the same shape every day? So we're gonna discover this with the moon phases, and we're gonna reveal this mystery by using Oreos. So here we are with the Oreos, and we're gonna start with the new moon and full moon at the same time. So I'm gonna carefully take this off, and I'm gonna put it like that. Perfect. Here we go, the full moon and the new moon. Now, next up is waxing crescent, one of my favorite ones. So I'm gonna carefully take this off. I think it's pretty good. And now I'm carefully making sure that I'm actually gonna eat this, just saying. So I'm taking the pieces off that we don't need. So I'm just gonna eat it. Okay, here we go. We got the waxing crescent. So that's on check. Next up, we have first quarter. Again, I'm taking carefully the piece off. Again, we don't need it. And I'm taking the other pieces off. First quarter. Now we're gonna go up to the waxing gibbous. Again, taking carefully that off. There you go. Waxing gibbous. We have the full moon already. Now we're gonna go down to, first of all, waning gibbous. Taking this off. Perfect. Pieces we don't need. There you go. Now we have the third quarter, or you can call it last quarter. And finally, we have the waning crescent. Okay, here we go. We have the waning crescent. Let's put this aside for a moment. And let's think. Why do we see the moon? So I have this flashlight right here, and I can't find the ball. Does anybody? Oh, thank you very much. So we have the ball and we have the flashlight. So as you can see, this flashlight illuminates the ball. As in the solar system, the sun illuminates the moon. And we can only see one side of the moon from where we are on Earth, and that's why we see the moon. So since we answered to this question, let's consider this as our model in the outer space. So I have the sun and the Earth right here. We're going to put the sunlight right over here. Perfect. And the Earth somewhere in the middle. Around there is good. And now, let's put our illuminated moons in its corresponding moon phases. This. That's good. Perfect. And now, let's think again. Why don't we see the moon in the same shape every day? So, imagine we have this person, a boy, and he is looking at the moon from Earth. And what does he see from this view? So he sees a shadow, but he doesn't see any light. So that's called a new moon, and we're gonna put the new moon right over here. Moving on further, he sees a little bit of light, but most of it is shadow, and that's called a waxing crescent. And we're going to put it right over here. Perfect. Now moving on to straight forward. He sees half of the bright side on the right, but he doesn't see any shadow on the left. And that's called a first quarter. And we're going to put the first quarter right over here. Nenext, he sees more of the bright. Okay, he sees more of a bright side, but less of the shadow. And that's called a waxing gibbous, right? Whatever. Waxing gibbous right over here. Stand, boy. Please stand. Okay, please, I beg you. And now, finally, we see no shadow, but we see the bright of the moon. And that's called full moon, as I said. have our full moon right over here. Okay, perfect. Now from that point on, this time it's going to shrink. So after the full moon, there's a little bit of shadow still, but it goes down and it has a still bright side. And that's called a waning gibbous. And I have it right over here. Okay, perfect. Now turning him that way. So he sees half of the bright side of the left, but half of the other shadow is dark. So it's called the third quarter or the last quarter, which is right over here. Finally, we are in the final stage of the moon, and he sees less of the bright side, but more of the shadow, and that's called the waning crescent. And here we are. This is the moon phase, the Oreo moon phase project. From that point on, after the waning crescent, it's going to start a new cycle, and it's going to begin on a new moon. There will be probably people asking what waxing and waning is. So waxing is when the bright side of the moon goes bigger up to the full moon, and there is practically going to be less shadow. Waning means when there will be more of the shadow, and it'll go up to the new moon, and then it'll shrink to the brighter side. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. You can do this at home with your family or parents, or even with your friends. Yes, and peace.